A few weeks ago, before all of the social distancing, I had a funny argument with somebody at a shopping mall. What had happened was I had just recently started doing intermittent fasting really aggressively. I usually fast 15 hours every day, but occasionally I'll go on a 24 plus hour fast. And one day I was at the shopping mall when I got into an argument over something really trivial. I cannot even remember what I argued about. That's how trivial it was. And so I think I was at hour 20 or so of the fast when I got into this argument. And when I finished the argument, oh my god, I lost my appetite completely. Because at 20 hours is where you get really itchy about doing the fast. And so as I walk away from the argument, I thought, hey, that's not a bad silver lining to the argument. And I thought I should relax myself by thanking the guy for causing me to lose my appetite. And I went up to him to try to appease him by thanking him for, I explained that I'm doing a fast and thank you for causing me to lose my appetite, basically. And he thought it was an insult, actually. I didn't realize it, but I poured gasoline on the fire by saying that, and as a result, I stormed out of the shopping mall. He chased me out of the shopping mall, and I was scared for my life. But I was being honest about that. I actually did lose my appetite for arguing with him, and I was happy about it. But I got home and I realized that maybe that's not the best way to go about a fast. You see, the reason I was doing the fast to begin with was to try and normalize my relationship with food. And I used to eat very unconsciously. Now that I fast almost every other day and then sometimes more, it forces me to be more conscious of the fact that I am eating. I always wish that we had some kind of an alarm system in our mouth, that every time you reach something in your mouth, there's a beep, 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 beep to remind you that you're in fact eating. Because sometimes I used to have a problem with not even realizing that I was eating. But I realized that the reason for doing the fast was to normalize my relationship with diet, and now I'm using another problem with diet to argue with people, and I realize I'm just trading one eating disorder for another. It's not really worth it. I mean, it was good that I was able to think that. It was a silver lining to the argument, but maybe I shouldn't have said that to him. Sometimes my jokes get a little bit out of hand. A few years ago, I had been shopping on eBay when I had gotten into a disagreement with a seller on eBay. I had bought some gold coins from somebody on eBay, and I made the bid, and before I closed out the order, the price of gold skyrocketed. And the seller conveniently told me that he and his wife had split up, and his wife had taken the gold with her, so he had to cancel the sale. I knew it was bullshit, and so I left negative feedback, and there was a discussion between me and the seller, and I happened to look at his profile picture because I wanted to see what his wife was leaving from, just out of curiosity. I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere with that, but I thought he looked a lot like my 8th grade teacher. I had a pretty strict 8th grade teacher, and lots of good memories with him. My favorite memory with him was when I used to have big fears of a chemical in the classroom, hydrochloric acid. And every time I would pour it, I would spill it because my hands would be so shaky from it. And he got very upset about that. I didn't want to tell him that I had a big fear of chemicals, so I told him that it was a prank, and it made him even more upset. But I didn't want to let him down because he and I both love chemistry. That's why I had a big fear of the chemical. But I thought this eBay seller looked a lot like my 8th grade teacher, and so I left another feedback on his site saying, "You look a lot like my 8th grade teacher." And before I knew it, eBay had sent me a warning that I was using profanity on the site. I literally meant he looked like my 8th grade teacher. It wasn't a fuck you or anything. I was just trying to relax from the disappointment of not getting the gold coin. Anyways, sometimes my jokes get taken a little bit out of context, and maybe I shouldn't joke so much. Thanks for watching.